per game, shooting 47.62% from the line, pulling down 29 rebounds per game and getting 15 assists. Leading the way individually in scoring for the Tetons is Isaiah Davis. He's getting 16.1 points per game, and Anthony Bertucci, the sophomore guard, getting 15.4 points per game. Bertucci's kind of a do-it-all man for the Mystics. He does a lot on the offensive and defensive side and is an all-around pest. Does his best to get into the heads of opposing players if he can avoid getting into having them or himself getting into his own. Taking a peek over at Williston State to see where they're at and how they're handling scoring. They're averaging 84 points per game, 46% from the field, 34% from beyond the arc, 70 even from the charity stripe, 41 rebounds per game, and just a shade under 16 assists per contest. So two very evenly matched in the stat column between these two squads. Scoring for Williston State, Rex Sterling averaging just under 21 points per game. Tyler Best is at 14.1 points per game. And then it is a whole logjam underneath them. The Tetons looking for a third score to really show out here in the early stages of this 2023-2024 season. And they're going to see if they can't come up with someone to come away with it. Ben Yambi scoring 7.5 points per game, and Will Olson at 7 points per game. Also Freedom Leon at just under 7 per game as well. Those three players have been able to get some good looks up. Now the Tetons just looking to get them more consistently. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait until the starting lineups are announced to get the starters for Williston State. But it will most likely be Sterling, Best, Olson, and then rounding out 4 of the 5 starters will be Tyson Ingot. That 5th spot has been rotating around a little bit, so it'll either be Olson, Leon, or we'll have to see who else Coach Herman puts out there for the Tetons here in this, their 4th conference game of the season. Talking to Coach Herman earlier in the week and talking about some of the principles that he's looking to install on the defensive end, because he's really looking for a better effort and some more focus on the defensive end, because when these Tetons players have put a big effort on the defensive end, that's directly correlated with them being able to work more efficiently on the offensive end as well. And he's looking for some big contributions defensively from Freedom Leon and Will Olson. We'll have to see if they can't use those defensive efforts to help spur them along. Great matchup for the Tetons in these Mystics. The Mystics coming in, matching up height-wise with Hussein Elmagri at 6'8". He'll go up against Sterling and Cameron Doust, as well as Kenneth Bozeman standing at 6'7". So both teams have traditional big men down low. And we'll have to see how the Tetons can use that, if they can, to their advantage to try to come away with the win. 2 minutes left to go before we get underway. A little over 2 minutes. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and get you going here for the tip-off of the men's game here from the Well in Williston. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as the teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings Here's sports.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of associate and associate of applied science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family.
Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at wilistonstate.edu/apply.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys Radio. Williston State men's just seconds away from tipping off as they have the starting lineups going on. They're about to commence any second now. They'll start off with Bismarck State and the Mystics. Mystics will be in their gray uniforms with gold lettering and green trim. Tetons will be in their white uniforms with black lettering and black trim. Starting off for the Mystics is going to be number 1, Garrett Bader, a 6'1 sophomore from Bismarck. Next up is number 3, Alex Proctor, a 6'3 freshman guard from Marlboro, North Dakota. Out of the tunnel next, number 11, Raymond Brown, a 5'10 freshman from Fargo, North Dakota. Number 12, Isaiah Davis, a 6'6 sophomore from St. Paul, Minnesota. And Anthony Bertucci. Bertucci is a 6'4 sophomore from Orlando, Florida. The Mystics are coached by Kevin Rice. Now it's time for the starting lineups for the Williston State Tetons. They're going to go with number 1, a 6'4 freshman from Williston, North Dakota, Will Olson. Next up, number 4, a 5'11 freshman from Powers Lake, North Dakota, Tyson Inget. A 6'6 freshman from Melbourne, Australia, number 20, Tyler Best. Number 22, a 6'3 freshman from Katy, Texas, Richard Massey. And the big man in the middle for Williston State, a 6'8 freshman from Australia, Rex Sterling. Tetons are coached by Alex Herman and Apollo Beck. Sterling making his round, giving fist bumps to the officials and Coach Rice for the Mystics. And the Tetons will have a last-second huddle up, and we will be underway here for this men's edition of Teton basketball. It should be a fantastic one between these two squads. The Tetons looking to get a big first conference win of the season, an official first conference win of the season. We are in covering the game against the Pioneers of Miles Community College, and the Tetons got that one, so the Tetons know that they can compete against some of the top teams in the conference. It'll be Olson in the center circle. He'll easily win the jump ball, and we'll be underway. Coming up is going to be Inget. He'll lead the first possession. Bounce pass over to Massey on the far wing. Back up on top to Inget. Back to Massey. It'll go. Looking for a screen. A little late movement for the Tetons. Into the corner. Will Olson wide open for 3. That's no good. Best comes down to the board. He'll get it over to Sterling. Puts it up and in. First of many for Sterling in the game as he gets the Tetons up to an early 2-0 lead on the American State Bank scoreboard. Brown bringing it back up the court for the Mystics across the timeline. 19.5 left to go in the first half. Bertucci from the near wing. He'll dribble it back up on top. Tetons in their matchup 2-3 zone. Mystics trying to figure it out, so let's see what they can get going on. Bertucci up on top, swinging it back to Brown. Brown looking to take off. He's going to be turned away by Olson. Olson caught an elbow in the temple. Kick back on to Brown on the wing, wide open for 3, and he knocks it down. Raymond Brown, and he struts it down the court after knocking down the long ball. Long pass from Inget up to Massey. Back they go, back and forth. In the corner again to Olson. Good closeout on the perimeter by Davis. Entry pass to Best from the high post. Back to Inget. He'll drive. Flips it up to Sterling. Sterling over to Inget. Underneath. All alone. Up and in. Tyson Inget with 2 points. Tetons back up on the high side. Inget has been figuring out the last few games, and he's been able to have some nice dimes and find himself open when the defense sucks up along the bigs. Bertucci now with the ball for the Mystics. He's being guarded once again up by Olson. Inget took a big shot in the jaw as he's trying to find his bearings. Now gets up on Bertucci up on the point. Swings it up to Brown. Good recovery by Olson. Bertucci swings it over back to Brown. Brown with a little floater off the glass, up and in. Raymond Brown with the first 5 points consecutively for the Mystics. Massey now with the ball across the timeline. waiting for options. He'll put it on the deck. Over to Olsen. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off the leg of Alex Proctor. Back to Williston State. 22 seconds left to go on the shot clock. 18:07 left on the first half scoreboard. Massey set to trigger from the sideline. Along the boxes go the Tetons. Trying to find someone open. They get it into Sterling. Sterling's going to put it on the deck. He'll go through. Takes a big shot underneath. It'll be from Davis. Back up the court come the Mystics. Bertucci all alone along the perimeter. They let him heave one up, and that's going to be hard off the back of the iron. Inget comes down to the board, looking to run the court. He'll weave his way through traffic. See if he can't find anybody. Over to Olsen. Extra pass through the hands of Best. And Olsen and Best, hey, they have a little high five and say, hey, each one of them taking credit for that miscue. It'll be 17:46 left to go. Mystics with a 1-point lead as the Tetons look to put on some full court press. Bertucci set to trigger. He'll get it over to the hands of Proctor. Skip pass over to Brown, who will march up the court. Waiting for him is Olsen, just in front of the timeline. Brown driving. He'll get into the paint, and it's either blocked by Sterling. Sterling comes away with it, gets it over to Inget. 4-on-2 break. Over to Massey. Massey lays it up and in. And Richard Massey with his first 2 points of the game. Tetons on the high side now, 6-5. Brown pushing it back up the court. Olsen forcing him left. Brown trying anything he can to go right. Gives it off now up on top. Back to Brown. To Bertucci on the far wing. Tetons defense looks solid. But a lob pass over to Davis. Caught Sterling napping a little bit. The alley-oop layup up and in. And it's the Mystics back up by 1. 7-6. 17 even left to go. Inget high post to pass. Back to Massey. From range. That one just off no good. Sterling with the offensive board. He's going to be stripped by Bertucci. No fouls yet on either team, although there's been some to call. Brown gets into the body of Inget. Lots of contact, but Inget's going to come with the ball. Outlet pass up to Massey. Massey will drive down low to Olsen. No, it's going to go through to Best. Best looking to get to Sterling, who's running the lane up and in. 2 more for Rex Sterling. So Sterling with a good trailer down the paint, and he finds the bucket up and in. 16.5 left to go in half number 1. Proctor gets it up on top to Brown. He's waiting, slowing things down now to Bertucci as the Tetons rotate in their 2-3 zone. Up on top, it'll go to Bader. His first touch is a shot up and good. Just beyond the arc. Garrett Bader knocks it down. Over to Olsen, looking down under low for Sterling. As he tipped out of bounds by Proctor. And they just about had Sterling screaming down through the court for another easy layup, but a good defensive recovery. And there's going to be the first substitution of the game coming in for Williston State. Ian Johnson will be checking in for Tyler Best. So a quick substitution up as the Tetons are able to send waves of players in there. They go about 11 deep through the rotation. Olsen has it up on top. Gets a little bit of attraction. Now to Inget. Back to Johnson. Underneath to Sterling. Good drop step. Puts it up and in. Sterling was 6 throughout the first 4 minutes of the game. As here come the Mystics. Under 16 minutes left. Brown driving on Olsen. Good recovery from Massey to turn him back to the top of the perimeter. Over to Proctor. He's pulled out right along the Teton bench. Olsen with a deflection on the pass, but back into the hands of Proctor. Extra pass over to Bader in the corner. That one's off the mark, no good. Sterling comes down with the board. He'll get it off to Olsen. Olsen will march it up the court for Williston State. Slow things down to Sterling. Now to Inget. Inget back to Olsen. Olsen wide open. Three-pointer, no, not good. Johnson gets the rebound. He goes, turns around, up, no good. Bertucci there got a big shot of Johnson's arm, and he'll come down to the ball, push it back up the court over to Proctor. Proctor slowing things down, and there's going to get a push on Will Olsen. That'll be the first personal, first team foul. And Coach Herman saying, hey, if you're going to call that ticky-tack one, why don't you call some of the other ones where guys get big shots? So that'll be the first personal, first team. Mystics set to inbound it from the sideline. Proctor gets the ball back to Brown, who'll work his way back up on top. He was calling for Davis to go on a little bit of clear out. So 5 high go the Mystics. No one inside the paint. Now Brown dips down. Bertucci, skip pass over to Bader. Bader for 3. That one is in. It's his second of the half so far. And that extends the lead up to 3 points for the Mystics. It was tied momentarily at 10 apiece. Inget bounce pass over to Massey after he picked up his dribble. Back to Tyson. Now Massey has it. Massey with another deep ball. That one in good. Richard Massey finding it from range here so far in the game. We're tied back up at 13. Mackay Marks set to check in for the first time to the next stop as Raymond Brown comes across the timeline. Grady Gonzarowski also at the scorer's table is going to be Brown working his way around. Sterling, fadeaway jumper, up and good. Got a little bit of a screen that helped him. 15-13. Mystics back up on top. Inget flips it down low to Sterling. Through contact, and they're going to get Davis finally on a foul as he was all over the back of Rex Sterling. That'll put Sterling to the line for a pair of shots. Cameron Dowse also set to check into the game, so 3 Tetons set to come in here with 14-13 left to go. Sterling, for being a 6'8", big down low, he is also a good finesse touch at the charity stripe. His first one up and good. That makes it now 14-15. As out of the game goes Massey and Olsen. Dow still at the scorer's table. Olsen and Massey check out of the game. In for them is Grady Gonzarowski as well as Mackay Marks. Second free throw up and good. Rattles around and finds its way into the bottom of the bucket. And Sterling will check out of the game. Cameron Dowse will come in. Those two big men have yet to see action on the court at the same time together. Both freshmen, 6'8" Australians. Back of the court comes Raymond Brown and the Mystics. Working on Inget. Swings it over to Proctor, who will bring it back up to the top of the perimeter. A little bit of offensive confusion for the Mystics. Here this trip up the court, looking for Brown in the high post. Nothing there. Bertucci gives it back to Brown. He'll drive on Johnson. Pump fake, nothing to do with it. And there's going to be a travel called as Johnson and Inget force the turnover. And we have a whistle under 14 minutes. That'll be the first media timeout of the half. Tetons and the Mystics are tied up at 15. We'll be back for more Teton basketball in 60 seconds.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students. Whether high school or college, we salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Your hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check it out at asbc.com. Trust Banking, the American State Way. Member FDIC.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons and Bismarck State Mystics are tied at 15 with 13:51 left to go in the first half. And a little extra stoppage as there's some perspiration wiped up along the floor. Tetons have a chance to reclaim the lead. It's been back and forth all half long. Tetons on the court. Ian Johnson, Tyson Inget, Mackay Marks, Grady Gonzarowski, and Cameron Dowse. Here comes Inget up the court for Williston State. He'll give it over to Marks on the far wing. Back to Inget. Looking to work their way through. Gonzarowski's going to be tipped away and stolen by Bader. He'll get it off to Bertucci, who'll move it up the court. Bader has knocked down 2 long balls so far for the Mystics. The cross-court pass will go over to Davis. He'll drive underneath. The pass is going to be tipped up by Johnson, but it's saved into the hands of Bertucci. He drives, swings it over to Proctor for 3. That's off the mark, no good. Inget comes down with the ball. Marks running the court. Inget couldn't get it to him in time, so he'll have to work his way through. Now swift pass over to Johnson, tipped away back into the hands of Inget. Over to Gonzarowski. Here with a drive, trying to find Dowse. Now Gonzarowski with a little floater up and in. Grady Gonzarowski with his first bucket of the game. The Tetons back on the high side, 17-15. Little press coming for Williston State. Brown working his way up against Gonzarowski. He'll get by. Little hesitation. Now stopped at the top of the perimeter. Over to Bader on the wing. Good recovery for the Tetons. Bader looking for options. Bertucci on the low post. One-on-one against Dowse. He'll spin. Kicks out to the perimeter. Here's Brown on the drive. Back down to Bertucci, who puts it up and in. Anthony Bertucci with his first points of the game. Tied up at 17. Over to Gonzarowski. He's going to drive. He'll get bounce pass underneath to Dowse, but a little too close to triple team underneath on Cameron. And then it'll go back to Davis. He'll swing it back to Bertucci. Give and go, not there. Up on top, it'll go to Bader for the Mystics. Swing it over to Davis. Davis in the paint. Up again. Bader, wide open look, and he's going to miss that one. Dowse with the rebound. He'll get it off to Johnson. Flips it up to Inget. 17-17. 12-12 left to go in the first half. Marks with the ball on the wing. He looks to penetrate. Now he's turned away. Gonzarowski gets it down to Johnson with a little flip shot up, and that one's going to be no good. Taken away by Proctor. Will look to push it up the court for the Mystics. Little heave over to Brown. Baseline drive against Johnson. Little Euro step who puts it up and in. Raymond Brown with a nice move to get to the basket. And the Mystics reclaim the lead now 19-17. Ingot works his way up. Ben Yambi set to come into the game for Williston State on the next stop. Over to Johnson, looking down low for Dowse. It's going to be turned away again by Bader, and he's been very active on the defensive end. Johnson looking to drive. He'll go a little reverse layup up and in. What a move by Ian Johnson. Redirected himself, went up and around to put it up and in. And we're tied at 19 apiece. Tyler Best set to check back in as well for the Tetons. Bertucci on the near wing, looking for some action to develop. Finds Davis on the high post, step back, 12-footer. That's going to be off the mark, no good. Marks comes down with the rebound after it popped around by Johnson. Ingot pushes across the timeline, close in on 11 minutes. Finally, the Mystics are going to the bench. Ingot swings it to Johnson. Johnson open for three, no good. To be taken down by loose ball on the court. Finally, Davis comes away with it. It's a 4-on-3 break. Davis working his way through traffic, loses the ball. Inglet there on a tough defense, and it's going to be a foul called on Johnson, saving the easy layup by Davis, and he looks like he is relatively gassed as there's 5 Tetons set to check in. So Williston State going for a complete line change. So just the third personal foul on the Tetons. So far, the Mystics have not accrued any fouls yet, as Davis is at the stripe for the first one, up and in. Going out of the game for the Mystics is going to be Proctor. And coming in for the first time is Gavin Strand. After Davis knocked down his first of 2 shots, he also has a sub waiting for him at the bench if he can knock down the second. So it's going to be Best, Leon, Sterling, Feller, and Yambi on the court as the second free throw by Davis is up and good as well. So he'll come out of the game. Subbing in for him is going to be number 21, Kenneth Bozeman. So 6'7", subbing in for 6'8". Yambi has the ball. He'll swing it over to Leon. In the corner to Feller. Back to Leon around the outside. Leon drives underneath the Best. Too far underneath the wing. Over to Feller from the corner for 3. Brady Feller knocks it down from range. And the Tetons up by 1, 22-21. Back of the court comes the Mystics. Brown working on Feller. Long pass over to Bertucci on the near wing. Yambi one-on-one with him. Tetons right now are in man-to-man before they sink back down into their 2-3 matchup zone. On top to Bader. Bader being hounded by Yambi. Good recovery for the Tetons. On the drive is Strand. He'll kick it out to Bertucci. Bertucci up on top. 8 seconds on the shot clock. He'll go down low, and it's going to be floater up and no good. And it's going to be a foul on Bertucci as he ripped down Brady Feller. So Bertucci picks up the first team foul on Bismarck State. First personal, first team here with 10:05 left to go in the first half. They're letting both teams play early. That'll be Tyler Best getting it into Ben Yambi. Yambi crosses the timeline. 10:03 left to go. Bounce pass to Leon. Leon finds Feller in the corner. He'll take a couple of dribbles. He'll fire in a phone booth. That's going to be up no good. Pulled down by Bertucci. He'll move it up the court himself. Weaving his way through traffic. Going to be cut off by Yambi. Hands it off to Strand. Strand now over to Bozeman on the perimeter. Up on top, back to Brown. They'll reset the offense. Now to Strand. Back to Bertucci. Wide open 3. Good closeout by Feller. And it's going to be Sterling who comes down with the board. Hands it off to Yambi. He'll push it back up the court. Williston State looking to extend their 3-point lead. Feller from the corner. Back up to Yambi. Bounce pass over to Leon. Leon, a little shimmy to Best on the low post, reverse layup, and he's going to be fouled on his way up. That might be the number 2 on Bertucci. And Bertucci barking at the student section for Williston State after they had a couple of words for him. So that's third team foul on the Mystics. Second personal on Bertucci, and Tyler Best at the stripe for a pair. Best first one up and good. A couple more subs coming in for Bismarck State. Going out is Brown and Bertucci. And coming back into the game is Proctor, as well as entering for the first time, number 13, Hussein Elmaghi. Best with his second is up and good. So Best 2 for 2 from the stripe. Tetons a perfect 4 for 4 so far in the game, as they now have a 3-point lead, 24-21. Up on top, it's going to be Proctor with being the primary ball handler. He'll get it over, trying to find it over to Elmagee. That's going to slip through his hands and out of bounds for a turnover on the Mystics. A chance for the Tetons to extend their 3-point lead. Just under half of the first to go. 9-10 as the inbound pass goes to Ben Yabi. He'll push it up to the top of the perimeter. A little more defensive intensity for the Mystics. They're going to get it onto the low post, but it's touched out of bounds by Bozeman. They had Best all alone on the mid-post area. That'll be an inbound play coming for Williston State from underneath their own basket. Yabi set to trigger. Tetons go 3 low, and with Best at the charity stripe, they get it into Feller on the corner. Now up on top to Leon. Leon's going to look to drive. He's going to throw it into the hands of a defender, but they get it up to Sterling, who puts it up, just rolls off. Rebounded by Bozeman. Back comes the Mystics. Bozeman will run the point himself. Long pass over to Elmagee. Into the corner, now to Strand. Back up on top to Proctor. He'll slow things down and set it up. Finds Bader on the near wing. Bader over to Strand on the low post. On the outside, Elmagee, baseline drive. He's going to be cut off by Best. Looking for help. He'll be tipped up in the air. Intercepted by Leon. 2-on-1 break by Yambi. Euro step through by Freedom. Leon, no good. Sterling puts it up and in. Rex Sterling with fantastic offensive board and putback. And the Tetons are up 5, 26-21. 8:15 left to go. Yambi, being a hound of the court on Proctor, is bringing it up. He'll flip it over to Strand. Strand reverses to Bader. Back up to Strand. Good Teton defense the last couple trips down. It'll be Olsen and Inget set to check back in. Elmagee has it on Sterling. And it's going to be a good contested shot, but Elmagee gets it up and over the top of the 6'8 Aussie to bring it back down to a 3-point game. Yambi is going to get it a little bit out of control as Coach Herman doesn't like the calls. They get Yambi for the charge. Feller and Yambi are going to check out of the game. Inget and Olsen coming in. Going out is 2 freshmen in for 2 freshmen now for the Tetons. They'll look to get it back done defensively. Just the 3rd team foul on Williston State. Bozeman on the drive. He'll dump it down low to Elmagee. Little put shot up, no good. Sterling comes down to the board over to Leon. Tetons looking to push it up the court. Over to Olsen. Long pass going to go over to Best. He has a sky to get it on the low post to Sterling. Sterling works his way through. Jump stop. Puts it the reverse layup up and in. 2 more for Sterling. He's having a monster first half so far. They're going to feed him early and often. Massey and Johnson set to check back in for Williston State. Baseball pass goes to Bozeman. Working on Sterling. Puts it up. Too soft. No good. Leon with the rebound. Tetons force another stop. 5-point lead, 28-23. Inget racing down the court. He'll get it to Best in the corner. Baseline drive going to be cut off by Bozeman. Swing pass up on top to Olsen. High post to Sterling. Working his way through traffic. Little congestion for the Tetons. Into the corner for Best. Baseline drive gets past Bozeman. Swing pass into Olsen from the corner for 3. Got it to go, Will Olsen. And the Tetons now with their largest lead of the game. It is up 30-23. 7-point Teton lead. Strand has the ball. He'll swing it over to Proctor in the far corner. Elmagee now from the high post, working on Sterling, and he's going to post it down low underneath the Strand. Strand, a little floater up, no good. Pulled down by Olsen. Skied amongst the trees to grab that one. Back comes Inget and the Tetons. Gets it underneath to Leon. Leon's going to put up. They're going to say he's blocked. Sterling gets it, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds. They're going to say it's going back to the Tetons, so much contact down low, but no fouls being called underneath. They're letting both teams bang, and that is an immediate timeout with 6:17 left to go in the first half. Tetons holding on to a 30-23 lead. They'll look to get another stop on defense when we come back. We are listening to Teton basketball on 660. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Mike back here for Teton basketball. 6:17 left to go in the first half on the American State Bank scoreboard. Teton's up by 7, 30-23. Inbound pass goes to Gavin Strand. He'll skip it over to Proctor. Will work his way back up close to half court. He'll cross over. Teton's now in there man-to-man until they get it up to the high post, and they'll switch down into the 2-3 zone. So we get over to Elmagee. Elmagee back to Proctor. Back up on top to Elmagee. They're looking to get it to Bozeman. Nothing there. Good defense by the Tetons. 8 on the shot clock. Bader gets it back out. He's going to go to Proctor. Crosses over, trying to find space. He gets to the elbow, puts it up. No good. Tetons force another stop. Back comes Ingot up the court. Under 6 minutes left to go. Ingot swings it over to Olsen. Olsen from the wing, and that one's going to be off the mark. No good. Pulled down by Strand. He'll look to weave his way through traffic. Swing it over to Bader. Bader getting cut off by Massey. Tip pass from Olsen, but they get it to Elmagee. Out to Proctor from the corner for 3, and Alex Proctor knocks it down. That'll cut the lead down to 4 points. Inbound pass goes back to Tyson Ingot. Work his way back up the court. Up on top, Ingot going to pick up the ball. He'll flip it over to Sterling on the low post. Up on top to Massey. Massey goes for a floater in the paint. That's off the mark. No good. As the Tetons looking to feed it down low more to Rex Sterling. He's had himself a big half so far. Strand now at the far wing for the Mystics. They get it underneath. Sterling's going to come away with the steal. Gets it up to Olsen. 2-on-2 break. Olsen driving through. And there's going to be a foul called on Bader as he tried to get in the way of Will Olsen. And that'll be the 4th personal foul, or 4th team foul. And some more subs are coming in. Tyson Ingot checking in for Williston State, or checking out for Williston State. Ben Yambi coming in. Out of the game for the Mystics will be going Proctor as well as Elmagee. We'll make the change there. Back into the game for the first time is Gavin Thigh, and he'll be joined by Davis. Also another late change for the Tetons. Getting in before the buzzer, Cameron Doust in for Sterling. Yambi has it on the wing, up on top to Massey. Swings it over to Olsen in the corner to Johnson. Johnson locked in a phone booth and is going to be just about a steal away from Thigh. And that'll keep it with the Tetons as Thigh pokes it out of bounds. Tetons will have 16 left to shoot on the shot clock. 4:41 left to go in the half. Massey, long pass over to Olsen. Olsen catch and shoot from the wing. No good. Hit off the glass into the hands of Davis. So Davis, the leading scorer for the Mystics, brings it back up the court. Long pass to Strand. Strand looking forward. Davis trailing. Nothing there. Up on top to Bozeman. Bozeman down low. Davis from the baseline. 17-footer knocks it down. Isaiah Davis with 2 more points in the game, and that'll cut it down to just a 2-point game, 30-28. Massey now from the far wing. Swings it to Johnson. Johnson from the corner. That one's not going to hit anything. So Tetons, big misses on their last couple of shots. Pushing it back up is Gavin Thigh. He'll pull it back out to Strand. Strand, he'll find Bader. Big pump fake, finds teammate in the high post. That's Thigh. Works his way around. Reverse jump back shot up, no good. Pulled down by Johnson. Will push it across the timeline. Under 4 minutes left. Olsen puts it on the deck, looking to enter it to Douse. Nothing there. Yambi drives. He's going to float it up, no good. Rebound's going to go down into the hands of Strand. Tetons usually so good along the offensive board. Can't find a good look at one this time, or this half so far. Kenneth Bozeman from the near wing, waiting for some action. Thigh post to the up top, but nothing doing. Swings it over to Strand. He'll slow things down. 12 on the shot clock. 3:20 left to go in the half. Up on top to Strand. Olsen being a pest. Strand dips it down low to Davis. He'll get it underneath. Working, they kick it back out to Bozeman. In the corner, wide open Bader, and he's going to rattle one out. Put back by Bozeman, rejected by the rim. Will Olsen, long pass up to Massey. He's going to go up and take a shot in the chest. He gets the teardrop to go. No call on that one, as Massey with the nice bucket drops it in there. Back of the court come the Mystics. Tetons back up by 4. Long pass goes in the corner, just about stolen by Massey. Davis, second effort over Douse, no good. Pulled down by Johnson. Back comes Williston State up the court. Olsen Driving, gets to the perimeter, back out to Johnson. Thought about a three-pointer. Guarded by Bader. Bullet pass over to Yambi. Bounces up on top to Olsen. Crosses over, back to Yambi. Yambi pulls the trigger. That one got it to go. Ben Yambi with a deep ball, his first of the game. And Wilson State up now 35-28. Back of the court. Thigh brings the ball up for the Mystics. Skip pass into the corner. There's Strand. Gets it back to Bozeman on the wing. Now to Thigh on top. They'll reset. It goes to Davis working on Douse. Hook shot. Running hook. No good. Pulled down by Douse. He'll get it back up to Yambi. He'll push it up the court. Cross the timeline with 2:01 left to go in the half. Yambi working through traffic. Is going to be battered away. Olsen goes in there. High angle off the back. No good. Pulled down by Davis. He's going to probably take it himself. Bullet pass. There's going to be a kick ball on Yambi. Got his foot in the passing lane as 4 Tetons are now set to check back into the game. Here, 1:49 left to go. The only Teton staying in is Yambi. So it'll be Yambi, Sterling, Best, Gonczarowski. And we'll have to wait a second to see who the fifth and final Teton is, as there's a timeout called by Bismarck State with 1:49 left to go. It's going to be a short one. We'll take a short one as well. Back in 30 seconds.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. It'll be Best, Sterling, Gonczarowski, Marks, and Yambi out on the court for Williston State. Inbound pass for the Mystics. Thigh will get it into Strand. Up on top to Davis. Back to Strand. He'll work his way around the perimeter from right to left. Over to Thigh. Looking high post for Bozeman. Nothing there. Looking to post up Sterling. Looking to cross post pass. It'll go. Marks with good defense up on Davis. Forces him out of the paint. Spin move. Gets underneath. Running hook shot up and in. Great shot by Isaiah Davis as that cuts the lead down to 5. Yambi with a little hezzy dribble. Gets away from Thigh. Takes a big screen from Best. A crushing screen. And Yambi is going to put it up, and there's going to be a foul called. We'll see who it's on, but Gavin Thigh absolutely got blown up on the big screen. And that will be, you'll see who it's on. That's the 15th foul. It'll be number 2 on Garrett Bader, picking up his second personal foul. So he'll come out of the game. Checking back in for him will be Alex Proctor. So very guard-heavy Mystics team here, as they're able to substitute despite a couple of their starting guards in a little bit of foul trouble. Long pass up on top of everything goes to Marks. Collided into by Thigh. Marks around the perimeter. Over to Yambi. Yambi fires. Off the mark, no good. Pulled down by Strand. Strand pushed it up the court, looking for options. He'll cross over the top of the perimeter. Nothing there. Davis comes down, barrels through, jump hook, up and in. Second straight jump hook by Isaiah Davis. And that'll make it now just a 3-point game. Under a minute left to go in the half. Yambi on top of the perimeter. Calling for action. He'll put it on the deck. Teton standing around. Sterling working on Davis. Pump fake. Puts it up, and that'll rattle off. No good. A rare miss from Sterling here in the first half. Thigh racing down the court. See if he can find someone in transition. Gets it off to Strand to the high post. Bounce pass underneath. It'll go up and under. Shot is going to be up and good by Proctor. Down to a 1-point game. Mystics making a late push. 31 seconds left to go. 5-second differential between the shot and the play clock. Yambi telling his guys, hey, let's settle things down. Hold for a last shot. Yambi being hounded by Strand all over with the hand checking. No call being made. 19 seconds left. Yambi crossing over, losing the handle. And there's going to be a double dribble called on Yambi. He picked the ball up and looked to dribble. And Coach Herman very unhappy that with all the hand checking going on up above the perimeter, that there was no foul called on Gavin Thigh that trip down the court. Mystics have a chance to take the lead here in the last shot of the first half, 35-34, 14 seconds left to go. Gavin Thigh bringing it up the court and see if they can get it down to Davis here with the last second. 5 seconds left. Thigh late to get into it. He'll cross over on Yambi. He's going to get it over to Davis. Davis kicks it out into the corner. No shot by Proctor. A little too late to get into it. And Coach Rice telling his guys, hey, we need to get into that set faster. The Tetons will head into the break, leading by 1 point, 35-34. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the halftime report telling you who's all getting it done in scoring for both squads. You're listening to Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Village. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and feed it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students. Whether high school or college, we salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Your hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check it out at ASBT.com. That's banking the American State way. Member FDIC.
Mike are back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Teton's on the high side, 35-34. And we are at halftime. Teton's led by as many as 7 points. But the Mystics were able to battle back and get within 1 point. Mystics had a last-second look at taking the lead, but it was Alex Proctor got the shot off about 0.2 of a second late. And the Tetons hold on to the halftime lead. Officials are letting both teams play, and especially down low, they're letting them bang underneath. Rex Sterling and Isaiah Davis for both teams. They're having fantastic games. We'll get you into who has what points, starting off with the Mystics. Davis with 10 points in the game. 6 points coming from Garrett Bader. He knocked down 2 early three-pointers. 9 points from Raymond Brown. 5 points in from Alex Proctor, and 2 each from Elmagee and Bertucci. Taking a peek over at Williston State and the Tetons to see how they're getting things done today, but it's going to be no surprise who's up at the top of the scoring heap for Williston State. That's Rex Sterling. He leads all scorers with 12 points at the break. 7 coming in from Richard Massey. 3 in from Brady Feller, Benjamin Yambi, and Will Olson. And then 2 points in from Tyson Inget, Grady Gonczarowski, Ian Johnson, and Tyler Best. So Tetons sharing the rock all the way around, but as early and as often as they can get it down low to Rex Sterling, they will feed him. And good things happen when they do. So the Tetons looking to continue that, feed the big man down low, see if they can't come away with their first conference win of the year and increase their standings to 500 overall and 1-3 in conference play. 10.5 minutes before we get underway here for half number 2 from Williston. These games are flying by as we are well ahead of schedule here in this one. Tomorrow we have one game coming up that'll be here at the Well in Williston. It'll be against the Miles Community College Pioneers, and it'll just be the women's game, and it'll see if the Tetons can go to 9-0 on the season and advance to a perfect 5-0 in conference play. We're going to take an 8-minute timeout, and when we come back, we will have the rest of the halftime report and get you ready here for the second half from Williston. You're listening to Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. We'll be back in 8 minutes.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of associate and associate of applied science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family.
Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at wilistonstate.edu/apply.
When you need a new vehicle, you've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel-efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our doors. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience. keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of associate and associate of applied science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family.
Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at wilistonstate.edu/apply.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students. Whether high school or college, we salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Your hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check it out at ASBC.com. That's banking the American State way. Member FDIC.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
When you need a new vehicle, you've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel-efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our doors. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons and the Mystics warming up here before halftime. It is a one-point game, 35-34. Tetons looking to hold on to see if that's enough, a one-point advantage to take the win here at home for their first conference win of the season. Mystics also looking for their first conference win. So the Tetons looking to have a little bit of home cooking to help get them over to 500 overall on the year, as well as to 1-3 in conference play. Both teams just finished shooting around. We'll have to see who they come out with, as the Mystics had a little bit of foul trouble, and it was Bertucci, he saw most of that first half on the bench after he picked up 2 quick fouls at about the 13 or 14 minute mark. And since then, he was spending time on the bench. Tetons with no one in real foul trouble either. So neither team got to the bonus in that first half. Tetons are the first ones out on the court, and they're going with their original starting 5. It'll be Olson, Inget, Best, Massey, and Sterling. Mystics coming out on the court. They'll have their starting 5 as well. Coming out onto the game, it is Bader, Proctor, Brown, Bertucci, as well as Davis. Mystics will start off the second half with the ball. They'll look to reclaim an early lead in the half. It's been a back and forth affair all game long with several ties and lead changes. So this one should go down to the wire. We'll see if the Tetons can come up on top. 20 minutes separate the Tetons from their first conference win of the season. They'll look to get after it here right now. Inbound pass comes to Proctor. He'll get it to Brown to start things off. Brown across the timeline, picked up by Inget. Working his way over, it'll be handed off to Olson. Skip pass to Bertucci. Pump fake over to Bader. Straight away three-pointer from Proctor, and he knocks it down. 2-point lead all of a sudden for the Mystics. Now it'll be 37-35. Back comes Massey with the ball. Bounce pass over to Inget for Williston State. Bullet pass underneath to Best. He gets Davis up in the air, and Davis is going to come down on top of Best. So Davis knew he made a mistake going for that pump fake, and that'll put Tyler Best at the stripe. No, they're not going to call it on the shot, as Best was looking to go up with the putback. They're going to call it on the ground. So inbound pass coming for the Tetons. They get into Olson in the corner. He'll work his way back up. Now to Sterling underneath. Sterling kick pass to Best. Best with a foot on the line. That one not going to be good. Inget comes down with the rebound. He'll put it back up and in. Tyson Inget being fortuitous and crafty to get that rebound away from whoever was boxing him out. He put it up and in. Tetons tied back up at 37. Brown on top of the perimeter. Taking his time, waiting for the offense to get set. No crossover. Now to Proctor, to Bertucci. Bertucci looking to drive, swings it over to Davis from the high elbow. That's going to be up, no good. Massey comes down to the board. Bounce pass up to Inget, looking to fly down the court. He'll give it to Sterling. He's going to be collided into from behind. There's going to be a late blocking foul called. We'll see who it's going to be on. Either Bader or Davis will pick it up. So that one is going to be on Bader. So Bader will pick up an early third foul, second team foul, and quickly it'll be a substitution coming in for the Mystics as Bader will be checking out of the game. Coming back in for him will be Gavin Stand. Saw lots of run here in that that back end of the first half. The Tetons being a little more aggressive, especially in transition throughout the first minute and 7 seconds of this half. Inbound pass coming. They're going to get it up on top to Sterling. Sterling catch and put back up. No good. Davis comes down to the board. He'll look to run. He has numbers. See if he can go with a bullet pass. Will be turned away. Inget's going to be bumped from behind. He gets knocked over. No call on that one. And Coach Herman is beside himself. But there's no foul called on that. But the Tetons regain control. Inget down low. It's going to be tapped away by Davis. Bertucci picks it up in the air. Taken away by Brown. Another 4-on-2 break. Here comes Strand, works his way through. Out on the outside, three-pointer coming on the way. That one's going to be up, no good. Tipped up by the Tetons. Bertucci comes away with it. He'll short arm it up, no good. Best is going to wrestle it around, and it'll be a jump ball. Gives it to Williston State here with 18:20 left to go. So physical action here, and both teams looking to run a little bit. We're still tied at 37 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Inget gets it over to Best, hands it back off to Tyson. High post, he'll go up to Sterling. Back out to Best. He'll step back, look to drive. He's cut off, just about stripped. He's going to be taken down on the ground. He tries to get away underneath. Inget's all alone. He gets hit hard and won by Tyson Inget. Tetons finally get a call on the shot as Inget knocks it down, and he is up to 6 points so far in the game. Chance to make it 7. So Inget, the freshman out of Powers Lake, the former Rancher, has found himself at home just being a little bit crafty and sneaking through the cracks. Rex Sterling just about fell into the paint, but the free throw from Inget, no good. Still a 2-point Teton lead, 39-37. Brown shimming to shake on Massey. Gets it to Davis, now to Bertucci up on top. Proctor has it on the near wing, waiting for some action. Up on top to Brown, back to Bertucci. trying to find a cross-court pass. Now they'll find over to Strand. Strand works his way through, flip pass. It'll be Bertucci looking to drive baseline on Olsen. Good cutoff pass, going to be tipped, but Brown catches it from the elbow. He'll fade away with the jumper, up and good for Raymond Brown, and we're tied up at 39. Long pass to Sterling. He saves it from going out of bounds, up on top to Inget. Inget looks to drive, penetrate. He'll kick it off to Massey. From the corner for three, Richard Massey knocks it down. Tetons back up by 3. Go back and forth, we continue to go. Brown working his way up the court. Inget and Olsen waiting for him. They'll swing it off to Davis. Ian Johnson and Mackay Marks set to check in on the next stop. Proctor has it, holding on now over to Brown. Looking to get it to Bertucci on the high post. Swings it out to Davis. Davis in a phone booth knocks it down. And Davis with his first deep shot of the year. They'll have to do a better job of defending that shot from the perimeter from him. Best over to Olsen. Flips it off to Sterling. Sterling on top of the perimeter. Pounding the rock, now gets it off to Massey. Bounce pass to Olsen. Olsen drives baseline, swings it through to Best. Best too hot to handle. Now to Sterling, spin move in the paint. He'll put it up. He gets bodied by Davis, knocked to the ground. No call. Sterling late to come up. Bertucci has it on top of the perimeter. To Davis, he has a clear lane through, and he'll flush it in there to take a 2-point lead for the Mystics, 44-42. So Davis got by as Sterling was still scrambling to get back into the front court. Over goes to Olsen. Just missed Best as he cleared 3. Olsen being hounded on top of the perimeter by Proctor. Up it'll go to Sterling, out to Best. Best knocks it down. Tyler Best with a 3-pointer, and there's going to be a timeout called by Williston State. 16:04 left to go. Tetons back up by 3, 45-44 on the American State Bank scoreboard. We're going to take, we'll see what it is. It's a short one. We'll take a short one as well. Back in 30 seconds.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billy. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. So an older insects were injured while making this purchase. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons up by 1 point, 45-44 over Bismarck State. 16:04 left to go in the ball game. Inbound pass goes to Raymond Brown. He'll working on Ben Yambi, who's freshly checked into the game, as well as Grady Gonzarowski, Ian Johnson, and Mackay Marks. Only starter left in there is Sterling. Bertucci from range, up no good. Davis is going to have the rebound poked away from him by Gonzarowski. Back up the court comes Johnson for the Tetons. He'll work it down, hand it off to Yambi. Gets to the elbow. Pump fake out to Johnson. He pump fakes, gets through, skip. And there's going to be a pass over to Sterling, but Johnson's going to be whistled for the foul. Or excuse me, Johnson's going to be whistled for the travel. That'll give it back to the Mystics. A chance to reclaim the lead. Back up the court comes BSC. Bertucci high dribbling up. He'll skip it off to Brown. Brown gets up to the far wing. Now waiting for options, working his way back up. Strand pops high. He'll receive the pass. Back to Bertucci, looking down low. They get it in underneath the Proctor. Proctor working on Sterling. And there's going to be, Proctor's going to step on the baseline. And that'll be another turnover for the Mystics. Back-to-back turnovers in consecutive possessions for both teams. Johnson will get it into Yambi. Closing in on 15 minutes left to go. Yambi, spin move, gets it off to Gonzarowski, up to Johnson. He'll work his way through, hands it off to, going to look to hand it off to Yambi, but it's tipped out of bounds by Strand. A little bit of insecure ball handling for the Tetons the last couple trips up the court, but this time they managed to stay with the possession. Entry pass goes up to Sterling on top of the perimeter. He's going to pull the trigger from deep off the front of the rim. No good. Strand comes down to the board. Tetons push it, or excuse me, Mystics push it back down the court. Davis working his way up the corner, just about had his pocket picked. Baseball pass over the cross, into the corner of Strand. Bertucci on the wing, extra pass to Davis. He fires from deep, no good. Pulled down by Gonzarowski. He's just about stripped, forces it up to Johnson. A 5-on-1 break, bounce pass over. It's going to be tipped away by Davis. He's going to come the other way. Only him and Marks going through, and Davis is going to miss it, but Bertucci's up there to put it up and in. And that'll make it a 45-46 game. And there's going to be a stoppage on the play. It looks like Brown took an incidental contact to the upper thigh area. Now he's looking at the elbow. So it is a 1-point lead now for the Mystics. As both teams now have made some substitutions. Davis is coming out of the game. He looks a little gassed after a couple of fast breaks. Coming in for him will be Bozeman. And out of the game also is Brown. See who came in for him. Checking in for him is Gavin Thigh. Tetons back up the court. Yambi's going to be tripped from behind and a late foul on Thigh as he clipped the heels of Yambi. That'll be Teton ball as Thigh picks up the personal foul. 14th foul. Tetons this time have yet to commit a foul in the half. Just the first on Thigh as Mark sets to trigger the inbound pass. 24 seconds on the shot clock. Sterling coming up top, nothing there. He gets the ball in the paint, spin move underneath, forces it up. They're going to say he's going to be blocked, taken away by Gonzalowski. Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson slowing things down, now driving on Bertucci. You're looking to bounce pass up on top. He'll be poked away again, and back comes Proctor. He's going to go, and a big swipe tried by Sterling, but they're going to say Sterling got a piece of him. That'll put Proctor at the line for a pair. Looks that may have been a little bit of frustration there on Sterling. Here with 14-10 left to go. So 1-point Mystics lead with Alex Proctor a chance to try and build that out to 3 if he can knock down both of the free throws. First one on the way from Proctor. That one in there. 1 for 1 this trip to the line are the Mystics. They have one more coming. Chance to extend it to a 3-point lead. Again, Proctor at the stripe. That one off the mark, no good. Sterling comes down to the board. Just a 2-point lead now for the Mystics. Yambi with the ball. Best set to check back in on the next stop. Up on top to Johnson, working his way around. Picks up the ball. Nothing there. Try to find Gonzalowski on a slip pass, but that's going to be poked away into the hands of Bozeman. Bozeman brings it back up. Teton's a little bit out of sorts the last 3 minutes, and they find themselves down by 2. Now 3 Tetons set to come in at the break. Bertucci working on Sterling. Step back, kick it over to Bozeman. Long 2-point shot. That one's going to go in there. Kenneth Bozeman with another basket for Bismarck State. It's a 4-point Mystic game. Gonzalowski's going to get the ball across the timeline. He's going to call a timeout. Much needed for the Tetons, looking to settle things down. 13:33 left to go in the game. We'll see if it's a long one or a short one called by Coach Herman. It's going to be a short one. We'll be back. No, it's going to be extended to a full for the media timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug Toys available at their downtown service drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball, and after another Teton turnover, it was Anthony Bertucci who ran the court, and he was fouled by Ben Yambi. That'll make it now 51-45 after the bucket went in. And with that stoppage, now they will have another media timeout. So we will take another 1-minute break. Tetons find themselves down by 6, their largest deficit of the game. We'll be back for more Teton basketball in 1 minute.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students. Whether high school or college, we salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Your hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check it out at asbt.com. That's banking the American State Way. Member FDIC.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. One shot coming for Anthony Bertucci as he looks to complete the three-point play to put the Mystics up by 7 points. One shot on the way for Bertucci. That one up and good. Completes the three-point play. Now that makes it a 45-52 game. Back up the Tetons. Best has it on the baseline. Just about lost it. Freedom Leon in the game. Tetons are going to lose another ball, so they have another miscue and a turnover. That gives another chance for the Mystics to extend their lead. Tetons have been out of sorts since about the 17-minute mark on the game. Ty racing up the court to be working on Yambi. Kicks it off to Bertucci on the far wing. Up on top. Pops Bozeman. Inget set to come back in the game. Ty on the near wing now. He's going to find Proctor. Bozeman's going to lose it into the hands, but it goes into the hands of Best, taken away by Bertucci. Mystics keep control. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Bertucci takes a 35-footer, and that one drops in there. Anthony Bertucci with a huge three-pointer. It's out to a 10-point game, 55-45. Bertucci with 6 straight points for the Mystics. Leon working on Bertucci. He's looking to try to strip it. Gets out to Yambi. Tetons forcing it, and the Yambi is going to be whistled for. No, it's going to be an and one call. Didn't see any contact on that one. At that time, the Tetons get a break. Currently down to an 8-point game. Coming in is going to be Makai Marks. He'll be in for Freedom Leon. So at the line for one shot is Ben Yambi. Set to come back in for Yambi is Inget. Yambi's one shot up and good. So Yambi with a three-point play to chip away at the lead down to 7. So 48-55 Tetons trail. Back up the court. Wide open is Proctor. He pass up the open three-pointer. Strand over to Bozeman. Looking down low, nothing there. This run has come with Davis on the bench. It's going to be a loose ball on the court. It's going to somehow get back into the hands of Proctor. Strand has it on top of the perimeter. He'll look to cut his way through. A little floater over the top of Sterling. Rattles home. Gavin Strand with the bucket. And now the Tetons back down by 9 points. Bass gets it in the corner to Marks. Marks looks to drive in there. He'll kick it out into Feller in the corner for 3 off the mark. No good. It'll be taken away again. Running out is Bertucci. Bertucci's going to look to use his body to protect himself. He'll put another one up and in. Bertucci's having a big run here as of late. And the lead is back up now. And there's going to be another foul coming. Lead is back up to 11 as the Tetons draw a foul. And they'll get back to the free throw line. Ian Johnson set to check back in. No, they're not going to say it was on the shot. They're going to say it's after. Best is going to check out of the game for Williston State, and Johnson coming back in. 16 foul for the Mystics. That's the last one they have to give. Still 11:29 left to go. Marks catch and shoot in the corner. That one's off the mark. Sterling gets the rebound. He puts it back up and in. Body's falling on the ground. Little incidental contact. As now it is back to a 9-point game, 59-50. Tetons need to start getting it done on the defensive end. Ty crossing over. He'll hand it off to Strand on the near wing. Feller closes out. They're looking down low for Bozeman. Can't find him. Strand pushes it around. He'll back out and reset. 12 on the shot clock. Strand looks to drive. He'll get onto the elbow. Up on top, Proctor for 3. That's in and out, no good. Marks comes down to the board. He'll push it up the court himself. Slow things down now, hand it off to Inget. So Tetons look to start taking away. Inget gets by a defender, weaving his way through traffic. He'll kick it back out over to Marks. Marks on the baseline drive. He'll flip it underneath to Sterling, puts it up and in. 2 more for Rex Sterling. What a pass from Brady Feller to get the big man the ball underneath. 59-52. Tetons looking to continue to chip away, and there's going to be a timeout called by the Mystics here with 10:32 left to go in the game. Waiting to see if it's a long one or a short one called by Coach Rice. as the Tetons showing some signs of life after being all out of sorts. It's a long one. We'll take a long one as well. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of associate and associate of applied science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family.
Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at willistonstate.edu/apply.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel-efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Taking a look at the bench for the Mystics. It is Raymond Brown has a bag of ice on his left shoulder as we are back in play. Mystics with the ball. High up on top. Bader now is back into the game. Over to Strand, working on Sterling, and somehow gets it up and over Sterling to put it up and in. A prayer of a shot goes in, up and in. Back to Tetons now have the ball. Marks up on the perimeter. Gets over to Johnson. Pump fake. He's going to lose his man, and he's going to drive baseline underneath to Sterling. Sterling's going to try to fight away the ball from Strand, and they're going to call a foul on Rex Sterling as he was tying up Strand, who had the ball on the ground, and Sterling not happy with that call. I agree with him. And Coach Herman getting some explanation on it and finally backs off, so Coach Herman will have to be careful not to get a technical foul here in this one. 52-61. Tetons trailing by 9. Trying to chip back away. Tetons led by as many as 7 in the first half. And a big streak of turnovers and unadvised plays by Williston State sees them in this deficit here. Back of the court comes Gavin Thye. In the game is Davis for Bismarck State. He came in for Bertucci on that leg stop. Here is Thye with a long ball. That's no good. Sterling comes down to the ball over to Johnson. Now Inget pushing it up the court. He'll work it down underneath to Sterling. Hot pass. He's going to flip one up. No good. Goes to get his own rebound. They can mob Sterling down low. Here comes a block by Marks the other way. Inget gets the ball. Here comes Feller. Feller lays it up. Misses it on the way up. And to be into the hands of Bozeman. Just about ripped away by Inget. So sloppy physical play back and forth. Thye slowing it down up on top of the perimeter. Under 10 minutes left to go in the game. Strand has it on the near wing. Little congestion for the Mystics inside the paint. They clear out. Over to Bader now. High post will go to Strand. Over to Davis underneath. Sterling backs him down, corners him. Up on top to Bader. Close out by Feller. Bader drives. It's going to be put up, and that one somehow goes in for Bader. He gets the bucket to go up to an 11-point lead one more time. Johnson bringing it back up the court. He'll get it to Marks. Now to Inget, back to Marks. Sterling on the high post. He'll work on Davis. Over to Inget. Swings it back to Sterling. Spin moves down low, puts it up and in for Rex Sterling. 2 more for him. And back up the court comes the Mystics. They still have a 9-point lead. We'll see if the Tetons can feed Sterling enough to chip away at this lead and get some defensive stops. Feller being all over the ball handler in Strand. Bounce pass underneath to Davis. He's going to put it up and in. So a little bit of challenge defense by Feller. He leads to an easy basket for the Mystics. Inget has it up on top. He's going to drive. Kicks it back to Mark. Open for 3 from the wing. That's up no good. Sterling gets pushed from behind, but he gets the rebound anyways. Back-to-back buckets for the Tetons from Rex Sterling. Back down to a 9-point game. Here comes a drive by Bader. Works his way through traffic. Swings it over to Bozeman. Bozeman for 3. That's up no good. Davis comes with the rebound over the top of Johnson. Brings it back up on top. Now 4 Tetons waiting to check in on the next stop. Back it goes up on top. Now to Strand, working his way around. Strand crosses over. He'll look to lose traffic. Gets it through Davis's hands, but right into the hands of Thigh for three. So just a comedy of shots going in for the Mystics so far, up to a 12-point game. Marks brings his way back up the top of the perimeter. Bounce pass over to Feller in the corner. Gets his man up in the air on the pump fake, and Brady Feller puts it up and in. And there's going to be a timeout called by the Tetons. Bill Feller with a three-pointer. That'll make it back down to a 9-point game. 59-68. There's a timeout called on the court. It's a long one. We'll take a long one as well. We'll be back in 1 minute.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Village. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and feed it like a rented mule. So an older insect should while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball. Tetons trail by 9, 68-59 to the Bismarck State Mystics. Putting some full court press in. Will Olson, Best, and Douse back into the game, as well as Massey for the Tetons. Over to Strand on the near wing for Bismarck State. They get it to Davis from the elbow. Davis knocks another one down, extends the lead back out to 11. Back comes Ingot. He'll get it over to Best. Looking for Massey, can't find him. Takes a bump from Thigh over to Ingot. Now to Massey in the corner. Massey's going to be on the end line for the Tetons as they give the ball away again. 70-59. Tetons need to start something here as they're going to be quickly running out of time. 6:44 left to go in the game. Inbound pass goes to Thigh. He'll work his way up the court. He'll push it up now against Ingot. Thigh bounce pass over to Strand on the near wing. Gets a high screen from Davis. Pick and roll, nothing happening. Now over to Bader. Bader back up to Strand. Kicks it into the corner. Here's Thigh for a three-pointer. That one's going to be blocked by Best into the hands of Massey. Massey gets ridden up the court by Thigh. Now into the corner. Will Olson, quick three-pointer the other way. Got it to go. Will Olson with the long ball. And the Tetons trying to stay alive in this one. 8-point game, 70-62 with 6 minutes left to go. There's going to be a timeout called by the Mystics here with 6:07 left to go in the ball game. 70-62. Tetons on the high side. We'll see if it's a long one or a short one. It's going to be just a short timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball. 6:07 left to go in the game. Tetons trail by 8, 70-62. Back up the court, waiting to come across the line. It's Gavin Thigh. Now he had to fix a shoe-late issue in the backcourt as it's Mystics now working their way around. Bertucci back in the game. He has it on top of the perimeter. Over to Strand. Back it goes to Bertucci underneath. He puts it up and in. And that is a tough shot by Bertucci. Extends the lead back out to 8. Olson from the wing again. He's going to drive on Davis. Davis got a hold of him, but they swing the pass out to Massey. Massey with a shot up, no good. And that's going to be pulled down by Rex Sterling. And they're going to call Sterling with the foul on it. And Coach Herman cannot believe that foul is going to be called. And that is number 3 on Sterling. So back come the Mystics now. 4th team foul on the Tetons. Kyle work his way up the court. Being guarded by Olson. He'll cross the timeline. Swing it over into Bozeman. Bozeman looking for options. Up on top to Davis on the logo. Out to Thigh. Looking down low. Bertucci gets the ball on top of the perimeter. Mystics now want to salt away some time off the clock. They'll be taking some deep possessions. Bertucci one-on-one with Olsen. They look to drive. Spin move. Gets down low. Swings it over to Thigh. Gets his man up in the air. Little floating jump shot. No good. Pulled down by Olsen. Thigh's going to take Olsen out, and that'll be another foul on Thigh. And that is And now with no fouls left to give, that's going to put Will Olsen at the stripe for a 1-and-1. A 10-point game, 5:07 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Proctor coming into the game for Thigh. They're going to call the scorebooks, called it on Bader, but he was on the bench when that happened. So at the line is Will Olsen for the 1-and-1. First one up and in. See if they can remedy that foul on the court. Now the official going up to the score bench and now making sure they get that one right. So he'll take the foul away from Bader and give it to Thigh. Olsen at the line for his second of two. That was just the first on Thigh. Olsen knocks down his second of two as well. That'll make it now 64-72. Long pass goes to Bertucci. He'll bring it up the court. Tetons trail again by 8. Looking to get a big stop here. See if they can't come away and get it going. A quick run before it gets too little too late. Bertucci swings it up on top to Bozeman. Shuffling the feet. No call on the travel. On the outside to Proctor. Long pass to Bertucci. He's going to have it picked away from Olsen. And Olsen there looking to set the defensive tone for the Tetons. 4:47 left to go. 11 left on the shot clock. Setting to inbound the ball is Strand. Gets it up into Proctor on top. Proctor back over to go. And a three ball coming from Strand. That's not going to hit everything. It'll be taken up by the Tetons. Olsen in the corner. He's looking to drive on Strand. He gets by one. Skip pass into Massey. Now back to Best from the wing for three. Tyler Best for a big-time three-pointer. Just what the Tetons needed. And they are back within 5, 72-68. Inget. And he's going to be called for the blocking foul as Bertucci lowered his shoulder into Inget. 15th foul on the Tetons. So still one more foul left to give. Just the first on Inget. So Tetons within striking distance now, a 5-point game. See if they can't get a hold. Swings it over to Bertucci on the perimeter. Working their way around, down low to Davis, working against Sterling. Going to go into the body of Sterling. Sterling, strong defense, tipped away, no good. Rex going to come away with the ball. He'll get it off to Inget. Works through traffic. Davis late to get up. Tetons have an odd man rush going. Over to Sterling. He'll get into Bertucci, and they're going to call Bertucci with the foul, and he can't believe it. He got his feet tangled up with Sterling, who is going to the basket. And Rex Sterling a little slow to get up. He hit the deck hard on that one. So 8th team foul on the Mystics, number 4 on Bertucci. So we'll see if they ride with Bertucci the rest of the way. No, they're going to send Bader up to check into the game. There's a little bit of perspiration being wiped up on the floor. This gives Sterling a chance to catch his breath and wipe off the big hit he took at landing to the floor. Sterling at the stripe for the 1-and-1. First one is going to go. No, it's a 2-shot foul, so he misses his first one. He'll get one more chance to make it a 4-point game. Bertucci's going to come out of the game. Bader will come back in for him. Sterling trying to go 1 of 2 from the stripe. Rex taking his time now. Dribbles at the charity stripe. Second one on the way. That one will rattle home in there. 1 for 2 from the line. 72-68. Back up the court come the Mystics. Swings it over to Proctor on the far wing. Inget just about with a steal, and it goes over to Strand. Straight away three-pointer. That's going to miss the mark. Put back by Proctor, and it was Sterling had him on the hand, and they're going to call that a foul now. So that'll put Proctor at the line for 2. Chance to extend the lead back out to 6, and Sterling picks up his 4th foul. Well, Coach Herman liking the hustle with his guys the last few minutes. Here comes Proctor's first one from the line, up and in. Make it a 68-73 game. Chance to make it 6 points if he can knock down the next one. Proctor at the stripe for his second of two. Going to be on the way. That one rims out. No good. It'll be pulled down by Best. He'll get it off to Inget. Flip pass back up to Best. He'll push it up past the timeline. Inching down towards 3:30 left to go. Olsen catch and shoot from the corner. 3-point foul, and that one's going to be on Gavin Strand. Will Olsen going to the line to make it a 3-point game for the Tetons. And the Tetons now clear out as Will Olsen will have 3 free throws. Strand's going to pick up his first. That's the 9th team foul, so the rest of the way, it will be the Tetons shooting 2 fouls. Tetons don't have any fouls to give. They're sitting at 6, so the next foul they make, unless it's on the offensive end, it will be a 1-and-1 coming for the Mystics. So perspiration wiped up on the floor. 3 Mystics down in the blocks along with Tyson Inget. Olsen for the first one. Up and good. So Will Olsen coming down the stretch, showing up big time. At the stripe for his second of 3. That one rolls around and drops in there. So Olsen 2 for 2 so far on the 3 shots. It's a 3-point game now. 73-70. Olsen a chance to make it just 2. Bertucci back in the game. He came in for Strand. Back up the court come the Mystics as Olsen missed the third of 3. So 2 for 3 from the stripe. Tetons in a 1-possession game. Up on top, pushing it around is Proctor. Swings it over into the backcourt. Bozeman just saves it from going over there. Jumps past, gets it into the hands of Bader. Bader looking to get it up on top to Proctor. Tetons looking to shrink down defensively. Bader backing down on Massey. They get it down underneath, flips it up, and in it goes for Proctor. A tough shot, and the basket goes in there for 2 more. Now 75-70. Tyler Best working his way around. He'll get down low on the baseline. He'll flip it over to Massey. Massey drives baseline. He's going to throw it into the hands of Bader. Bader bounce pass over to Proctor. Giving it over to Davis, and Davis is calling for the alley-oop. Not happy with his teammate. Didn't go for the big flush, and he's still on about it. So 2:46 left to go in a 5-point game, 75-70. Bertucci set to trigger from the baseline. Now we're going to turn it over back to the Tetons. And now the officials are going to confer on it. So now the officials reverse the decision again. They give it back to Bismarck State. So Coach Herman now lobbing his case out on his bench, and he got the hey, be quiet sign from the official. Entry pass goes to Davis up on top. Over to Bertucci. Bader takes a shot as he tries to weave his way through traffic. Pass over to Proctor. Now to Bader looking down low for Davis. Couldn't find him. 2:35 left to go. Bertucci has the ball up on top. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Swing pass to Bader. In the corner to Proctor. Looking for someone to get it off to. Bozeman. No skip pass over to Bader, and it's going to be sailed out of bounds. So an incomplete pass will give the ball back to Williston State. 2:26 left to go in a 5-point game. Best will get it over to Inget. Back to Best. He'll push it across the timeline. Tetons will hand it off to Massey. Massey looking to drive, penetrate. He'll swing it back to Olsen. Olsen back to Massey in the corner. He's going to take a bump from Bozeman. Still no call. Up on top to Inget, who's going to be turned away on the drive. So Inget pulls it back. 2:10 left to go. Bounce pass over to Sterling. He lays it up and in. 2 more for Rex Sterling. Back to a 1-possession 3-point game. Tetons need to sink down on defense in a big way. Proctor bringing it back up the court as the Teton faithful come alive, and there's going to be a timeout called with 1:54 left to go. Mystics taking the timeout. They are looking for a good set. They're going to call a full one. They want the full minute to make sure they get a good look, try to extend it back to a 2-possession game. We'll take a full timeout as well. Back in 60 seconds.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our doors. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug Toys available at their downtown service truck location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Mystics have the lead and the ball. 1:54 left to go in the game. 75-72 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Isaiah Davis with the ball on top of the perimeter. Get it over to Bartucci. High post to Bozeman, looking for a post-to-post pass, and that's going to be a foul called on Richard Massey, but he forces the miss from Davis. So that'll put Davis to the line for a pair of shots. With 1:43 left to go, 17 foul, which is the first on Massey. If Davis can make at least one of two, that'll stretch it back out to a two-possession game. Tetons hoping for the under on that. First one on the way from Davis, up and good. Perfect. Looked at that free throw. As that extends it out to a 4-point game. 76-72. Chance to make it back to 5. So now they're officials are looking at the scoreboard now with Coach Rice for the Mystics. Looks not sure what they're talking about, but they give the ball back to Davis here with 1:43 left to go at the stripe for his second of two. His second one rattles out, no good. Pulled down by Best. 4-point game. Tetons have the ball. Chance to cut it down to just one bucket. Will Olson, quick three-pointer. Got it to go! Big-time three-pointer, Will Olson. And he is pumped up with the rest of his squad. It is a 1-point game. 76-75. 1:34 left to go. Tetons call a timeout. They call a long one. We'll be back in 1 minute.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as the teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. 1-point game. Tetons trail 76-75 right after a Will Olson knockdown three-pointer. Anthony Bartucci brings it up the court. Olson has 16 points in the game. Sterling has 20 so far. Bartucci up on top to Bozeman, driving on Sterling. He'll put it up. That one is going to be up and in. So a 3-point game. So Bozeman with a quick bucket there. 1:14 left to go. Up on top to Inget. He'll slow things down. Out to Olson. Thought about a long one. He'll give it back to Inget. Inget's going to drive. He'll kick it back out to Olson for the tie. No good. Sterling with the rebound. He'll put it up and in. 2 more for Rex Sterling. Back to a 1-point game. Under a minute left to play. 55 seconds left to go. Bartucci being hounded by Olson. He'll get up the court across the timeline. Up on top. Tetons need one stop and a bucket. 25 seconds differential between the shot and the play clock. Bartucci gets a big screen from Davis. He's going to take it up, and that one is going to be up and in. Back to a 3-point game. Tetons have 39 seconds left to go. Back up the court comes Williston State. Over to Best. He'll get it over to Olson. Has the hot hand. Bartucci with the closeout to Massey. Back up on top to Inget. Tetons with 29 seconds left to go. To Best. Best for the tie. Got it to go! Tyler Best ties it up. 24 seconds left to go. Tetons need a stop. Olson guarding Bartucci. Up the court is going to go behind the back dribble. Bartucci's going to hold and call a timeout. And there is now a tie game, 80-80, 19.8 seconds left to go. Tetons have tied it up after trailing by 11 in the first half. It's a full timeout. We'll take a full one as well. Back in 60.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of associate and associate of applied science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family.
Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at willistonstate.edu/apply.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students. Whether high school or college, we salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Their hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check it out at asbt.com. That's banking the American State way. Member FDIC.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. 19.8 seconds left to go. It's tied 80. Tetons need a stop to force overtime. Inbound pass goes to Bertucci. He's going to be checked by Will Olson up the court. 14 seconds left. Olson with some good tight on-ball pressure. See if he can't get a pick away from Bertucci. He's pulling it back out. Now Bertucci steps back. 4 seconds left. He's like drive. Going to spin for the win. In and out, no good. And that's going to be overtime here at the Well in Williston. Tetons are going to free basketball here. And this is a big period. Tetons have the momentum as we head into overtime after battling back, trailing by 11, as many as 13 points. But they're able to get the stop. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have the first 5 minutes of overtime unless more is needed. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio, and I'm not sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing, but it appears to be Rex Sterling drinking mustard on the bench. So not sure if it was him just to get a little bit something going, if he had some hiccups or what it was, but Sterling chugging down what appeared to be a bottle of mustard as Jimmy Jones raced over from the area that was the concession stand. So who knows what it was for Sterling, but we'll have to see if he can get it going. Now the official chuckling with Sterling after talking to it. So here we go, 5 minutes of basketball. They'll tip things off in the center circle. Tetons all knotted up here with the Mystics at 80 apiece. So in the center circle will be Will Olson for Williston State. And Bozeman for the Mystics, and Bozeman's going to take that one. So each team has now one jump in the center circle. Mystics with the ball. Bertucci has it on the far wing. Gets under Bozeman, working on Sterling. A big shoulder into the chest. No good. Long rebound's going to be pulled down by Sterling. Tetons take over for the first time in overtime. Up the court comes Tyson Ingot, crossing over on Bozeman. He's going to bounce pass it underneath, and Ingot's going to be fouled on the drive. Well, that'll put him at the line for a pair of shots. 4:36 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard in overtime. At the line, Tyson Ingot for a pair of shots. That'll be number one on Bozeman. 10th team foul, so now the Tetons will be shooting 10 the rest of the way. Ingot at the stripe for his first. That one hard off the back of the iron, no good. They'll look to have one more, try to give the Tetons an early lead in OT. So Tyson, the freshman from Powers Lake, looking to come up big here with a free throw. That one rattles around and drops home. Tetons on the high side, 81-80. Inbound pass coming, gets it into Proctor. He'll push it up the court, being guarded by Will Olson. Proctor gets a drive. Swing pass out to Bozeman. Steps into a three-pointer. That one's in and out, no good. Bader with the rebound, struggling with the ball. He'll get it back up on top to Bertucci. Fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock. Davis calling for it down on the low post. Double teamed underneath. There's Best and Sterling. They get it back out. Swing pass over to Bertucci. Good recovery from Massey. Step back three-pointer from Bertucci, and to be saved from going out of bounds by Proctor. Back up to the Tetons. Best has it up on top. Tetons will slow things down. Here comes Inget. He's going to flip it up to Sterling. No good. Turned away. Inget will re-grab it and pull it back out to the perimeter. Coach Herman telling him to slow it down. Under 4 minutes left to go. Tetons on the high side by one. Inget looking back door for Best. Nothing there. He's cut off. Up on top, it'll go to Tyler Best. 9 on the shot clock. Best gets through. He's going to be fouled on the way up. That'll send Tyler Best to the line for a pair of shots. Chance to bring it out to a 3-point lead if he can knock down both of them. Free throws coming up huge here for the Tetons if they can take the advantage. They're looking to be aggressive and not settle for jump shots here early in this overtime period. Tyler Best at the stripe. One of 3 Aussie freshmen on the squad for Williston State. Here comes the first one from Best. That is up and good. Tetons up by a bucket now, 82-80. Another shot coming for Best with Sterling and Massey back up to defend. Second one from Best. That one is going to be off, no good. So 1 for 2 go the Tetons, their last 2 trips to the line. Up comes Bozeman. He'll bring it up the court. Olsen again on him. Over to Proctor. Bozeman takes a shot into the body of Inget. Bertucci takes it back out to Bozeman. He's driving. Jumps up from the baseline. No good. Pulled down by Best. Tetons now have a chance to go up by 2 possessions. Long pass over to Olsen. He'll slow things down. Long pass now underneath to Sterling. Kicks it to Inget. Inget can be cut off by Bertucci. He looks to get it underneath to Sterling, but there's going to be a turnover. Trying to get a little bit too fancy, but Sterling cleared out as Davis was riding his hip. Now it'll be the Mystics with a chance to tie the game or take the lead here as we are approaching 3 minutes left to go. Proctor gets the inbound play. This game significantly changed after Brown went out with an arm injury for the Mystics. Teton looking to recover. Bozeman on the high post. Swings it up on top to Davis. One-on-one with Olsen. Davis driving. Wild shot up, no good. Tipped up in the air a couple times by Bozeman. Finally brought down by Massey. Inget up the court. He'll give it off to Olsen. Olsen crosses over. Looking for a swing pass. Nothing there. Inget to Best for 3. Up, no good. Pulled down by Proctor. And this is a low-scoring overtime. Closing in now on 2.5 minutes. Coach Herman with the sleeves rolled up and the coat off. As we are down to the nitty-gritty. Proctor crosses over on Olsen, loses the ball. Best comes away with it. He's going to be hooked by Bozeman, but no call. And thankfully stays into the hands of the Tetons. 2:20 left to go. Inget working his way around. Hands it off to Will Olsen up on top. High post to Sterling. Looking, nothing there. He's going to take on Davis. Spin move. Tries to force it back to Olsen. One touch by Olsen keeps Sterling from traveling. And a little floater from Massey. That's going to be up, no good. Tipped up in the air. And finally tipped out of bounds by Proctor. Tetons will retain possession here with 2:02 left to go. They have 20 seconds on the shot clock. The Tetons get away with one. They need a bucket here to make it a 2-possession game. Inget set to trigger. They get it out to Olsen on the far wing. Bader hand checking. Olsen drives the baseline. He's cut off. Looking to get it up to someone. He'll flip it up to Massey. He'll pull it back now to Inget. Calling for a high screen from Sterling. Uses the screen. Flips it over to Best. Best in a phone booth. Fires. Got it to go! Tyler Best with the second big three-pointer here late. Tetons up by 5, 85-80. Back up the court comes Bertucci and the Mystics. Bozeman up on top of the perimeter. Looking to find it to Davis. He's calling for a lob. Swings it over to Bader. Bader looking, can't find anybody. Proctor flashing up on top. Bader will now put it on the deck. Trying to find someone to get it off to. 1:25 left to go. Back up to Bertucci. In the corner goes to Bader. Bader fires one from the corner. Got it answered back. So Garrett Bader with a huge three-pointer. Cut it down to a 2-point game. 1:14 left to go. Tyler Best back up the court. He'll hand it off to Will Olsen on the near wing. Olsen holding, waiting, now driving on Bader. He'll Euro step through, hook shot up, no good, pulled down by Bozeman. Another chance for the Mystics to tie it or take the lead as we're at the 1-minute mark in overtime. Coach Herman emphatically yelling at his guys to best defensive position, and Davis is going to be fouled as he barrels his shoulder into Sterling, and that's going to be it for Rex Sterling. with 51 seconds left to go. Cameron Dowse will have to come in. So Sterling fouls out of the game, and that's a huge fifth foul. And they tell Sterling, hey, not to exit the court quite yet until the officials tell him to. So it will be 51.6 seconds left to go. Isaiah Davis for the Mystics will have 2 shots coming. So Rex Sterling will foul out of the game with 25 points. He had himself a monster first half. Seeing if it's enough for the Tetons to hold on. Scoreboard has 85-82. Unless they called that shot from Bader in the corner a 3. So now the officials are talking to it. First one up from Davis is up and good. So one more shot coming now, 85-83. Next one up on the way from Davis. That one up and good. 2 for 2. For right now, it stands a 1-point game. Back comes Will Olson up the court. He gets it off to Inget. 1-point game, 46 seconds left to go. Tetons need a bucket. Olson working against Proctor. Proctor trying to chip it away, and there's going to be a reach in from Proctor, who got some of the arm of Will Olson. Olson, who's been a dangerous three-point shooter and all over the court for the Tetons here in the second half, goes to the line to try to bring it back to a full 3-point game. Sub coming into the game for the Mystics. It's going to be number 10, Gavin Strand, as Olson knocks down his first of 2. So Strand is going to go in for Proctor, who picked up his 3rd foul. A little more 3-point shooting out on the court for the Mystics. 39 seconds left to go. Olson's second knocks it down. Perfect 2 for 2 for Will Olson. They're 4 for 6 in overtime from the charity stripe, as it's a timeout called on the court by BSC. 87-84. We'll see if it's a long one or a short one. No telling what Bismarck has left. They do have a full timeout left. We'll take a full one as well. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our doors. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Bismarck State's ball, 36.9 seconds left to go, 28 seconds left on the shot clock. So BSC has about 8 seconds to get a shot up to try and make and tie the game, and then force a stop if they want to try for a last-second heave. Bertucci has the ball on the wing, looking down low for Bozeman. They get it to Davis on the high post, back to Bozeman, looking for a set play. Coming around, get it to Strand, nothing there. Bertucci up on top, 24 seconds left to go, 15 on the shot clock. Bertucci heaves it from 35 feet, loose rebound, and it's going to be back into the hands. Steal by Olson with the run out. Bertucci with the big foul, and one, Will Olson. Big time foul by Bertucci, but Olson strong enough to get it in there for the and one. That'll ice it. Bertucci's going to go back to the bench with his 5th. So Anthony Bertucci fouls out of the game here with 13.1 seconds left to go. What a steal, what a bucket by Will Olson. Now it is 89-84. Chance to make it a full 2-possession game if he can knock down 1 of 1 to try to complete the 3-point play. On the way for Olson is in. Inbound pass goes into Thigh. He'll race it up the court, looking to get it to Strand. Strand's locked up in the phone booth. Over to Bozeman to go, running out of time. 7 seconds left. Strand heaves one up, and that one's going to be off the mark. No good. Massey with the rebound. Tetons come away with the overtime win here over Bismarck State. What a gutsy performance by the Tetons to come from 13 down in the second half to come away with the win. Big-time game by a bunch of big-time players here for the Tetons, and they knock off Bismarck State, who falls now to 3-5 on the season and 0-4 in conference play. Tetons advance to 1-3 in conference play and are back to 500% on the season at 4-4. So a big win for Williston State. We're going to step away for just a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the post-game report for you right here on 660 Keys News Radio.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Mike Quarterback here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons up on top of the Mystics and a final of 90-84. This is a big-time game for both teams. The Tetons held on to a 1-point lead at the break, and they ended up having to outscore, or BSC outscored them by 1 in the second half, but it was a late rush by the Tetons to come back from 13 points, and there was about the 16 to the 13 minute mark of the game. The Tetons couldn't do anything right. Bad passes, bad shots, turning the ball over, and Bismarck State was able to use that to jump out to a big lead, but it was a late push led by number 1, Will Olson, and he was a big key reason why the Tetons pulled away with this overtime win. The Tetons outscored the Mystics in overtime 10-4, and a big chance part of that was Olson as well. Taking a look at individual scoring, Isaiah Davis for the Mystics had 24 points in the game, 14 for Anthony Bertucci, 12 for Alex Proctor, 11 for Garrett Bader, 4 points coming in from Kenneth Bozeman. Gavin Strand also with 4, and 2 points from Hussein Elamgi, and 2 points from Gavin Thigh for the Mystics. Looking over at the scoring for Williston State and the Tetons, leading the way in scoring there, no surprise, was Rex Sterling. He finished the game with 25 points. Will Olson poured in 21 in the game. 12 points coming in from Tyler Best, including a tying three-pointer. That three-pointer tied it up at 80 all, and that one forced it into overtime. 10 points from Richard Massey. 10 points from Richard Massey rounds out the double-digit scores for the Tetons. 7 points coming in from Tyson Inget. 6 from Brady Feller. 5 from Ben Yambi. 2 points from Ian Johnson, and 2 points from Grady Gonzarowski. The Tetons have made a big push there late, and looking at the plus-minus for Williston State to see who is the big movers and shakers out on the court, it was both Richard Massey and Will Olson. They're both a plus 19 in the plus-minus, so both of them had great games all the way around, but lots of great performances by the Tetons, especially when it mattered late here for Williston State. So that's it for the scoring breakdown. The Tetons come away with a 90-84 win. We're going to take one final 30-second break. When we come back, we'll have the Williston Auto Player of the Game.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business their best deals. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars. That's Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for the news.
Mike Ruhr back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Time now to announce the Williston Auto Player of the Game, and that's going to go to the freshman forward from Williston, North Dakota, right here, Will Olson. And he came away with Player of the Game. He came up with so many big plays late, also pouring in 21 points, and with the clinching scoop, run out, and scored to hit the and one, and converted on the and one free throw to seal it with a kiss here for the conference win over Bismarck State and the Mystics. Congratulations to Will and Allison Kuzi in the women's game for being named the Williston Auto Player of the Game. We're going to take about a 23-hour break. When we come back, we will have tomorrow's edition of Teton basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio. It will be the Teton women tipping off against Miles Community College. It'll be one game only. You can catch the action right here on 660 Keys News Radio. Tip-off is scheduled for 5:30. Pregame will be right around 5:15. Well, I'd like to thank Jaden back at the studio for keeping us on the air and sounding good. And I'd also like to thank all of you for tuning into this and every edition of Teton basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio. Until next time, sports fans, I'm Mike Ruhr.
Thank you for joining us for Williston State College Teton.
Shields was doing